Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Bev Pester, and she's part of the mixed company duo along with Jerry MANN. And Jerry Mann's probably still recuperating from last night. You know, he goes out and he goes to all the joints, and I'm kidding. But they are wonderful musicians. And if you are lucky enough to come to the Boomer Expo coming up on July the 28th at Seminole Hard Rock, you will hear their music. And, you know, it's funny, Bev, and thank you for being here this morning.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Anita.
Oh, it's always so great. And it's funny, for so many years we had the Expo and we never had you and Jerry. And I don't know, and they used to want to pipe in music, and I didn't do that, and I don't know how it all started, but I wouldn't know what to do without you now.
Well, we have a lot of fun there, too, and we're kind of sensitive to the people as they come around. We can see them, judge their ages, know kind of what type of music they would like. Some people will break out into dance right in front of us. You know, we'll play something from the swing era, and all of a sudden they're doing a jitterbug right there on the dance floor.
They're not shy, are they?
They're not shy, and they just love it. It's fun for us, too.
Well, the most important thing, though, for me is the fact now that we dedicate our expos to the veterans and that you do so much of the music. I mean, I know you watch, even though you're busy playing, but when we play the music from each one of the particular services.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they sing, and even to this minute, I just get goosebumps all over.
Well, it's very moving. You can't help but get a lump in your throat when you see these veterans and you know what some of them have gone through. And you just look into their eyes, and as they sing the motto from their particular service, you can see the feeling and the passion that they do it, and their wives or their children, their family sometimes is there with them, and it's just such a proud moment to be an American and associated with the veterans. It really is wonderful.
You know, maybe you can help me because I don't know the history, but when did the people in these services sing these songs? Were there ceremonies? How did that? What was that?
They always have they have a lot of patriotic music. John Philip Sousa and that kind of thing. And then usually ceremonial type things. They do play their anthem, whatever I don't think they're formally taught to sing them, but it just becomes part of their pride. And kind of like the national anthem is for our country. And then if you were in the Air Force or you were the Army or the Marines and you hear your song, you just want to stand up and say, hey, yeah, I was there. I was one of those people.
So in other words, this wasn't something if they were the Navy, they were on a ship and everyone was singing.
No, I don't think so.
It was that particular music for that
right, a certain theme that became associated with them.
You know, we for a long time when we were certainly naming the various branches, we had forgotten the Coast Guard. Okay.
Yes.
And we had. So now
but we do the Coast Guard. Yes.
I know we know. But yes. I just now got something from the Merchant Marine. Now, this was interesting. Some guy writes and says, how come you didn't do anything about the Merchant Marine? And as a coincidence, I saw a documentary on the Merchant Marine.
Oh, you're kidding. Really?
And what they really did to help. And they never are included in. And it's not just us. Apparently, they're not really thought of as one of the services. But if you would have seen what they did do to support.
Right.
And so I really
well, they did the Liberty ships, right, in World War II.
Exactly.
In fact, we have a table in our living room that is made from from a Liberty ship, a hatch cover. So a hatch cover table. You see these sometimes in the nautical stores, and it is from a Liberty ship. And when I was in middle school, or they called it junior high back then, one of my teachers had been in the Merchant Marine. So he would tell us stories crossing the Atlantic, worrying about the submarines, the U-boats. And so they had to go through the North Sea. Sometimes the weather was just unbearable.
Yes. So why aren't they? I know it shouldn't be embarrassing you to ask you this, but why aren't they included?
I don't know, but
that's
a good point. And you know what? I'm going to do some research and see if they have a certain song. I've never heard of Merchant Marine song.
No, but we ought to find out what we have to do to get those guys who are in the Liberty ships to be one of the important branches.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
There must have been a reason.
If they get medals, or the same as the other branches, or if it's even considered a branch of the military. I don't know.
So if one of our listeners was a merchant marine and you want to write us at Boomer Times, you would just go to, you can give us a call at our office, and then we can work on that. Our number is 561-735-6525, because Bev and I are very interested, and if there is a song, Bev will find, I'm going to look it up on the internet, because I could. That's how I got a lot of the song, the words
that you
and
put it
everything.
in the in the Boomer Times.
Yeah, and I did that because we got the we're getting a nod that there is a Merchant Marine song. Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Because we don't want to leave anyone out.
No, I know there's a CB song.
A what?
A CB. The CBs were part of the Navy, and
they were younger people. Kids. Who were they? What were
the
they?
CBs were construction units, and they would go into the islands or wherever you needed to build an Air Force base or an Army base for landing planes or whatever. And they were the Seabees, Seabees. And they have a special song, too. Of course, they are part of the Navy, but they take a lot of pride in being known as Seabees.
Well, you have really come up with a lot of things here this morning. Oh, my goodness. See, I told people you can't miss the show, whether it's 5 a.m. or whenever it is. You learn a lot from our doing this. Well, Bev, you were just telling us something, and I know it's not about the Expo. I finished with the Expo. Everybody just come at July 28th from 10 to 4, and it's over at Seminole.
Right,
Hard Rock.
11 a.m. is when we recognize the veterans.
Guard,
the color guard comes in, and we do the ceremonies for the veterans. A very moving ceremony.
And we sing all the songs.
Yes, we do.
But Bev does something that's really very rewarding, both to her and, of course, for the people whom she entertains. And she goes into retirement communities, whether they're independent living all the way down to nursing homes. And we were discussing just how nice that is for everybody.
Oh, it's wonderful. I get a lot out of it. I probably as much out of it as I give to them. And it's particularly rewarding for people who might have Alzheimer's or whatever, and they don't respond to a lot sometimes. But when they hear music, they get a sparkle in their eye. You see the toes tap, and I pass out maracas sometimes. They want to shake the maraca, and it just, you touch them, and I walk up to them sometimes. If I'm playing the flute or the sax or clarinet or something, I walk around, and they really brighten up, and especially if it's a song they know the words to. I've even seen people that don't talk start singing. And afterward, the nurse will tell me, I can't believe that. They haven't said a word in weeks, and here they're singing the entire verse of that song. Wow, it's amazing.
It is, and that has been really known, and they, even the neurologists, don't quite understand that part of the brain that can respond to that. There also is a story about that there's a woman who can play piano. She doesn't speak, and she can play piano she does that.
Wow.
An older, I was just told that the other day, as a matter of fact, that they can't get her to talk, but she can sit down to a piano and just play.
Oh, wonderful. Well, did you see the Glen Campbell special on CNN? Oh, it documents his whole last tour. They did over 100 cities, and of course he has Alzheimer's. And this was filmed, I believe, in 2012. And his family, his daughter and his 2 sons, made up his band. And he would do all of his songs, but they had to have had the words on a teleprompter. Thank you, a teleprompter. So because he would forget the words sometimes, so he could always refer to the He was quick with the jokes. He was wonderful on stage, but then he couldn't remember sometimes the name of his own children when he'd go to introduce them. But when he picked up that guitar, oh boy, could he play! Because he was a wonderful musician. Oh, yeah. He was superb, played with the Beach Boys and a lot of people. And when he picked up that guitar and started to play, it's like you cannot believe that he had Alzheimer's.
Must come from another place in the brain. The brain is, of course, so sectioned and all. But music, and I'll tell you another story talking about what you just said. There was a man who I was very good friends with. He was up in the West Palm Beach, and he was well known because he had had a big PR company, and he was always doing everything. And his wife and he have been married for a long, long time. So now they're both in their 90s, and she has Alzheimer's, and he takes such good care of her. I mean, he is there constantly with her, and he would sit her down in a chair, and he'd put earphones on with the old music, and she'd just sit there all day long, just listening.
Yeah.
That's how, so that he was able to keep her happy.
I've seen that. Some of the places I play, for example, at Manor Care, the couple of the ladies that are always there, and they're the first ones to want the maracas. The one lady's 105, sharp as a whip. She is sharp, and she speaks. She's Spanish, but she's American. She speaks Spanish, and her friend, who is in her late 90s, is Italian. Speaks very little English, but the music between them, they know what's going on every minute of the time, and they pick up a tambourine or maraca, and they're playing along and having a good old time. And I just think, wow, when I get to be my 90s, I really hope I can be like them.
Well, but your music is keeping you. We're just going to keep you very young.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
That's really what does it.
I hope so.
Well, we all know what music means to people, and so I'm. Well, I am really glad that you have this great personality and that you do like to do it. You know, there are musicians who are reticent.
Oh, I've been
You're
there.
not.
I've been there years ago.
You could
when
never
I
have
was
been
a
reticent.
classical musician. I played in the symphonies and that type of thing. I played with the Florida Pops for many years, and but before that, I played in Sirius up in Pennsylvania, and when I was in college, I played and we were all very serious back then. We practiced and everything was every note had to be perfect and so forth. And then when I first formed a group down here, I had a 5-piece group, and all wonderful musicians, and we always try to outplay each other. And then as I got older and started performing for people, I said, that's not what it's about. It's about having fun with people. That's what it's about, getting them to relate to what you're doing. So that's where I am now.
Well, when we talk about music, it's almost the arts in a sense, because people like to paint, and a lot of people with Alzheimer's are also able to construct and paint some very beautiful pictures, and yet they're not talking. And it's something to do with the creative part with people. Of course, with music, you have to be trained, or I guess there are people who just play music and they maybe have never taken lessons, but basically that's a whole training. It's very different. Right.
Well, that's interesting what you're saying. You're saying their verbal skills might be lacking, and they're losing the verbal skills, but they still have that creative spirit within them, and they can paint and get their ideas across through their painting.
That's right. It's what they must see. There's a place on the FAU campus. It handles a lot of. It's like a daycare center, and there are a lot of people early stage Alzheimer's, and they do a lot of painting. You go in there and you see the workshop, and they're teaching them how to do it. And now I think I saw it at the Boca Raton Hospital. Maybe it's the new neurology building. They have a neuroscience building, and there's a whole wall of paintings that these people have done. I think it was they were all doing hearts for Valentine's Day, and you look at them, and they all came from these people from all of us, people who just maybe they were painters, maybe they never painted, and so
there's still hope for us that don't paint.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you paint?
No, do I paint? No, I don't know what I do about that. Let's see. I do a lot of doodling, and I maybe put color on it. I always, thinking about what you just asked me, Bill, my husband Bill, helped found the Army Art Center.
Oh,
up in West Palm. It's now quite a big deal, and it's very exciting. And so nothing would do, but I had to go and participate when he was doing it.
Did you say the Army?
Armory.
Armory.
Armory Art Center.
Art Center.
It used to be an old armory, and they saved it, and it's become a huge art center, and it's very big now. A lot of people who want to be artists and famous artists do that. But the interesting thing is, my voice carries anyway, right? Thank you. But the interesting thing is, so I decided instead of taking painting, I was going to take sculpture.
Oh, okay.
And we had a nude, that came
Oh.
in, which let's see, it was I think it was a woman. I'm not sure I'm a woman, man, but I really enjoyed that. And one thing I have found, and I know it happens with you musicians, once you're in there and you're in another zone.
Yes.
And when I was doing this sculpture, you get the clay and you're moving. I was not there. I was somewhere else. And I really took a few classes and I loved it. But then my schedule got a little, unfortunately, too busy.
You're a very busy person.
I know, but I think that's something I would go back to. I don't think it's the painting so much for me. It's the feeling.
Sculpture.
I like the feeling of, I would do pots. I would like to do that. I don't know if you've ever had your hands in clay or...
Years ago, I think, when we did some type of project in summer camp or something like that. But I remember it was fun.
Yeah, it
at
is.
the time.
It's using something that we have that many of us don't do. Well, I like to cook. Do you like to cook?
My husband is a great cook.
Oh, so you don't have to cook.
So I would not embarrass myself because he is so good.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you sing?
I sing a little bit. Now, Jerry, my partner, he's the main singer in the group. He's got this fantastic voice.
Right.
And I can carry a tune. I can carry a tune, but I'm not a big voice like he is. But I like to do more like play piano and sing like a Diane Krall type, kind of more like a jazzy kind of soft voice kind of thing. I enjoy doing that kind of thing, some of the old standards.
Right. But all of this is... it's so healthy. That's why I think that a lot of our older adults sit there and they're just listening to television, listening to radio, they're watching television, and they don't participate. I think people need to participate.
Oh, yes. They say there are 3 parts of the brain that music stimulates and singing stimulates. One is the memory of the words. Another is the memory of the melody of the tune. And the third is the rhythm of the tune. And they've done scientific experiments to show how 3 different parts of the brain are actually stimulated in different ways by those 3 things when you sing. And so, of course, that's so good. You don't have to have Alzheimer's, just as you are aging. And if you can sing, or you don't even have to be a good singer, but just the process of singing helps you maintain more of a mental flexibility, you might call it, or whatever.
Bev came on our show, and we usually have Jerry Mann. And Jerry, as I say, he's not here this morning. We don't know what's happened to Jerry. We hope it's very positive. But I knew that Bev and I could really carry on, but I didn't know she knew all this. I should have known that you knew all this. That was very interesting that you just told us about that. But I think that what really we have to work on, not people who wind up in nursing homes. Let's move away from that. Let's talk about the average person sitting at home.
Right.
And they may be married, they may be alone. They need to sing, and they need to sing whether it's America the Beautiful, just sing, because I was told that when you sing, just as you were saying, I didn't have the exact words that you were using on the brain, it does something to somebody to sing.
Right.
So everybody, whether you're singing in the shower, today, this is the day, it's July 4th, you can sing something patriotic if you would like.
Okay.
If you know any of the music from the branches, the Air Force or the Army, the whatever it is, sing something.
Yeah, you don't have to have a good voice.
Right.
I mean, have you ever been to a karaoke bar? There are lots of people that don't have good voices.
Now, that's funny. You should bring that up. That karaoke has been the best thing that has happened to people who have dying to sing, and they're embarrassed because they know they can't carry a tune.
Yeah, and it's funny. And sometimes the worst people get the biggest applause. Is people just think, this is great. They have the nerve to get up there in a microphone and sing out with a song that they love, and they know the words or whatever, or follow the words. And it's a wonderful thing for people, I think.
Oh, it absolutely is. And there are a lot of people who are good singers, but they don't know where to sing.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but
be
it's both.
facetious here,
No,
but
both.
But there are people that are
Right.
good singers, and they never really had the opportunity to sing. And, they don't have to be professional, but maybe they're pretty good. Not quite a professional status, but hey, if you're just with a group of people and someone knows a song, it makes everybody happy. I love to watch people get up there, and you look at them and you think you know what they're going to sound like, and like, whoa, holy smoke, they really surprise you sometimes.
Some people don't even know what karaoke is, and I'm going to tell you in a minute. My guest is Bev Pester. This is a Boomer Time Show. I'm Anita Finley, and we're certainly glad you're listening this morning. It is July 4th, and I hope you're going to have a very safe holiday. But Bev Pester and her partner, Jerry MANN, it's called the Mixed Company Duo, and you can see them at the Seminole Hard Rock when they were here for our big Expo, July the 28th from 10 to 4. And if you're listening and you would like entertainment, they are available. You do have to pay them, of course, because they're a professional group, but they would love for you to contact them. And I guess I can give, should I give your home number?
Sure.
561-393-6789.
That's easy to remember, isn't it?
393-6789, and call. And then you can book them if you're having a party, you're having something. Their music is wonderful, and they're very accommodating. Well, anyway, I want to get back to what you just said about the karaoke. So Bill and I, Bill especially, cannot carry a tune. I can carry a tune to a certain extent, but because I have played music, but he would never sing the. I don't know. Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
Oh, this is funny.
Okay.
So he would not even sing Star Spangled Banner. He wouldn't sing because he said, "Well, I don't have any voice. I can't carry a tune." Someone must have told him this a long time ago. That starts.
Right.
And so I said, "Come on, Bill." And Happy Birthday wouldn't even sing Happy Birthday.
Holy smoke! Wouldn't even sing Happy Birthday.
No, he just felt he couldn't do it. So I told him, I said, "Okay, one day I'm going to give you singing lessons." And he forgot about it. For one Christmas, I bought and paid for about 10 singing lessons.
I love
and
it.
so he said, "Well, he was just floored." He said, "Okay, I'll only go if you go." I said, "But I don't have the problem you have. I don't have the voice, but I sing. I'm not shy." I said, "Okay, I'll go." So we went. There was a student from FAU. We hired her. And she started with this, right. Okay, we put up with that for a couple of times. And then we started doing a little bit more and a little bit more. And you could see Bill was getting some more confidence. And so then she recorded our little singing. And then she said, "Go to the beach and sing." Because there's nobody there, you can sing. So we brought our little recorder and we went there. And so we were singing. We were having a lot of fun, attracting a lot of attention. And Bill was really happy, so we would sing together. Now we'd sing in the car. So nothing would do, but you know where this is going. But one day we went to a bar, and there was a karaoke.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And Bill and I we were married to the Carpenter music, which is, we love the music.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
We've only just begun and all, so nothing would do, but we had to sing that.
Oh, wonderful.
Right. And we thought we were fabulous. Well, what they do is they make a tape of your singing.
Of your singing, huh?
So we're driving home. We put in the tape.
Right.
We were hysterical. It was so bad. We couldn't believe it. In fact, so bad, Bill took the tape and threw it out the room. But you know what?
Oh, this is
he
so funny.
Will sing now anything.
Great.
What it did is it broke, just like you said.
Yeah.
It was so serious.
Yes.
But it wasn't serious, and we understood.
Right. So
that's my story.
Oh, that's a wonderful story. That's pretty funny, too, because a lot of people do. I've noticed it, we have people that come up and sing with us, and, a lot of times we'll let them sing with us. And if they're any good, then we invite them back. But truthfully, we're not really karaoke, and if they're not that good, we discourage them the next time they ask. And a lot of times people do think they're a lot better than they are. And so it's kind of funny, but I'm so happy that he's doing that now.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and you will you will now sing the Air Force song.
Yes.
And but it's so I don't know what that's all about. Is it that somebody told you when you were a little girl, you can't sing, don't sing?
Well,
Is that
I have friends that say, well, because sometimes if the people were singing as a group, and I'll try to pass the microphone around, and they'll go, "Oh, no, not me." And I'll talk to them later, and they'll say, "Well, when I was in elementary school in the choir, the teacher said, 'All right, everybody sing out loud.' Not you, Susie."
I mean, isn't that cruel when you think of that?
They say, "You just mouth the words," and you think, "My, that's stunted for the rest of their lives."
That's
they
right.
have not felt comfortable singing.
Absolutely, and that must have happened to Bill.
It could have.
So that was good that we did that. But so please be very careful what you say to people. That's a very good point. Even now, don't say bad things to people because it hurts their feeling deeply.
Yes.
And be really nice.
Right.
And we're going to have to end the show now because we are running out of time in just a
time
minute.
Flies.
But boy, it's so nice for you to come here, Bev, and I can't wait to see you.
Well, like I told you before, I admire you so much, Anita, and it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me this morning.
Oh, it's just wonderful. Okay, so if you want to book Bev, and it's Bev Pester, Pester, and Jerry Mann, MANN, and the phone number is 561-393-6789. And I hope that you're going to have a great holiday today.
Oh, we are. We're doing a wonderful party tonight up in Boynton Beach.
You're going to sing?
Of course. All the patriotic songs are coming out. Have all the flags.
Right. Oh, that's right.
It'd be great. We're playing right after dinner, right up until fireworks. And then after we're finished, everybody's going to go outside and watch the fireworks.
Super.
Bye-bye.